You know, as much as feeling too much is a blessing, sometimes it's so heavy you start to think whether you're cursed. Whether you're cursed with sensitivity, whether why you're so different. Everybody else seems to be able to take things in stride, take a joke, you know, take a jab, be able to like just handle people generally. Um, just they know how to deal with people. Meanwhile, you get triggered by the simplest things. And I used to be that guy for a very long time. For a major part of my life, I was so affected by every single thing people would say or do, even when it was not even about me, just simply because I was in the vicinity. I just, for some reason, it was all my fault, if they didn't return the exact quantity of energy I was giving, I felt betrayed. I felt like they didn't like me anymore. If it was a woman or if it's a dude, okay, I didn't really particularly care about dudes. Like dudes, we've just been good. As dudes, we're always just fine regardless. But especially with the females, with girls, whether I was interested in them or not, I just felt like I was quick to step back regardless of what the real situation was. They could be having something else entirely going on, busy or something, but simply because they replied with one word when I sent a sentence made me feel like, oh, they're trying to disrespect me or they don't like me, or my mind used to come up with some crazy narratives, and because of that I missed out on a lot of connections. I sabotaged a lot of potential relationships because of the narrative that my mind was um spreading in the background. And I realized that I was the problem. And it takes a very different kind of strength to look yourself in the mirror and notice your own flaws, because as people, we're always very quick to blame other people, say how they did you wrong and you had nothing to do with the situation. You didn't have a part to play in how the thing played out. You're the innocent one. You're always the innocent one. But when certain patterns repeat in your life, when certain things continue to take place in your life, people who are very superstitious, they will call it a curse. But it's really just patterns. Certain paths lead to the same destination over and over again, and you keep taking those paths, and so you keep finding yourself in that destination. But once you know what action triggers that event, and you're able to curtail it, you get to see different endings. You get to see different other possibilities. Life is a multi-choice game, you know. All these games that have like 7 different endings. Life has it has an infinite amount of endings. And every day you get to choose which ending you want to be a part of, you know? So I say this to say that for those of us who feel deeply, who feel a lot, understand that it's a gift, because you're probably artistic by nature. You're probably the type to jot your thoughts down. You're probably the type to write poetry. You're probably the type to write books. And it's necessary. It's a gift that sets you apart from the rest, because you know how to articulate your thoughts. You know exactly how to make people feel, or um how to give imagery to emotions. And so you need to realize that you really need to sit down and notice the patterns that happen to you in your life. It's hard. It's a grueling process. I think I've been through the worst of it, because these days I'm more relaxed. These days I don't particularly and it's not that I catch myself doing it in real time. I just kind of reflect and realize, oh, The me of a year ago, 2 years ago, wouldn't have taken this. I would have run off with some narrative and ruined the whole thing. But I believe every time life shows us a certain pattern or ending, it's trying to teach us that, look, this is something you need to work on. This is something you need to change and avoid. And once you're able to learn, it stops repeating because you stop doing the things that lead to that end. So when things repeat in your life, understand that life is trying to show you something, that God is trying to teach you something through these events. You find yourself in certain situations, regardless of the person you're with, somehow it just ends up in that same situation. Look at yourself. You are the common denominator there, So change. We are beings of change. You cannot say this is who you are. You cannot be afraid of talking to people and then say, oh, you're just a loner. No, you're not. You're just scared and you're trying to identify with a character that would let you avoid being uncomfortable. Don't do that to yourself. You are limiting your potential, your possibility, your power by sticking to one narrative about who you are. You are the loner. You are you're not anything. You're a being experiencing the world. And you can be anything depending on who you decide to be in every given moment. These days, it's much easier for me. I just really just do my thing. I don't really bother about a lot of things. I'm only concerned about my vision, my goals, my daily habits, and if they align with my values. The people who appreciate me, those are the only people I stick around. People who don't give me that sense of, oh, I want you here, I leave. I'm not chasing nobody's attention, chasing nobody's validation. I'm comfortable with who I am, and the people who love me for who I am appreciate me regardless. And that's not to say some days aren't a bit hard, especially when you find yourself online and you see some people you used to know, relationships you used to be in, and honestly, even relationships that you sabotaged even when you didn't know better. And it takes a different kind of strength to just not try to reopen those doors because they're gone. It's to move forward and make sure in future you play your cards better, And it's a bit hard. It's hard, I wouldn't lie, because now that you know better, now that you see where you were wrong, you want to do it right. You want to make up for your mistakes, but you can't. And those people were there to teach you that lesson, and it took a quiet season of reflection for me to realize, my potential and all the places I had been messing up in my life, So I think the point of this entire video is really to just tell you that if you want to change your life, notice the patterns, pay attention. And you can only realize the patterns if you shut up and listen to yourself. You don't have to be distracted every second of the day with social media, trying to check on what's going on in pop culture or with other people. Sometimes just breathe, take a walk in nature. Sit down outside, let the breeze blow you, watch your surroundings, observe, experience the wind on your skin, your breath in your lungs, your eyelids as they blink. Observe your thoughts. You start to unravel both the bad and the good. But you see, you have to go through the bad before you get to the good. But once you get to the good, it's a game changer. You break free of a lot of shackles you didn't even know were holding you in the first place, So for those of us who feel too much, understand that it's a gift, but if you don't take care of that gift, it could destroy you because it's such a heavy gift, And the gifts that make us who we are, they're the things that make us great. But it's just like a gun. It's a powerful defense weapon, but you could also accidentally kill yourself with your own gun. Even if it's your gun, if you point it at you, it's still going to shoot that bullet and you're still going to die. So think of your gift as a gun. Used right, you're powerful. You're unstoppable. Use it wrongly or not know how to use it at all, and you can end up harming yourself and the people around you. And that's what you don't want to do. You know? So yeah, I think that's the point I was trying to make in this video. I was really just spontaneous with it. I didn't plan this out. I just sat down and started talking. I usually say I don't know what I'm gonna say until I start saying it, and that's really true, because I just have an idea and then I start speaking, and then somehow I make connections as I speak that surprise even me. But yeah, I think the main point of this video was observe your patterns, listen to yourself, and change. Focus on only the things you can change, only the things you can, like only the things that are within your power to change. Anything else, people's opinions, people's conclusions, people's image of you in their head, the way people treat you, let it not bother you. Let it not bother you for 1 second. Yeah, it's okay to notice it and understand, like, why is this person like this towards me? But beyond that, keep it pushing, bro. Keep it moving. She doesn't like you, that girl. He doesn't like you, that guy. It doesn't matter, bro. Keep moving, sis. There are 8 billion people in this world. Trust me, there are a lot of people who value you for who you are with all your quirks and flaws. And I know it doesn't feel like that because you're stuck in one same environment with a very specific group of people that you keep seeing every day. But I promise you, if you just allow yourself to go out to new places and have new experiences, you will experience new people. And with experiencing new people, you get to experience everything else that life has to offer. You can't keep going from work to church to home to church to work to home and expect anything to be different. You're circling between the same 3 experiences with the same 3 subsets of people every single time. And so your experience would be the same thing every single time. Allow yourself to be free, to move, to breathe, to go out, to exist. That's where you get to see that life is much, much more than whatever perspective you have in your head right now. And I don't claim to know everything. Everything I put on this channel is just my thoughts at the moment. My thoughts will evolve, my mindset will change, and I will reflect on my older videos as time comes and probably correct things that I have known better now, But this is just a journey with me. Just take care of yourself, be free, take chances, detach from the outcomes. And God will bless you, man. God will bless you, because that way now you're living the life He expects you to live. You love Him, you pray to Him, you do what you want to do or what needs to be done in the path you want to go, and just let Him take care of the rest, bro. Can't change it. I can only put so much wisdom into this video and the quality that I find myself putting into. But how many views this video does, when it does the views, if it's ever going to do views, that's not up to me. And frankly, I'm done bothering about that. So take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.